Hello, hey, what's up? Welcome to Tour Portion with the Grants. It's been about 2 weeks, weekend, since we've been able to do our tour portion, and so just a little explanation. We went to the Isaiah 46:10 conference. It was awesome. If you wanted to check out some of those presentations there, they have them on their YouTube channel at Isaiah 46:10. And guys like Zach Bauer, Steve Mutria, the Riverwinds, they all had fantastic presentations. So I would check those out. We really enjoyed getting to fellowship and worship with people and hang out with friends. And today we are going to be reading through the Torah portion, Terumah, and also if you tune in after this, we're going to be doing a separate one that is for Tetzaveh. Yeah, so we're just rehashing last week's that we missed. We're just going to be reading through the Torah portion section, so just the Old Testament today, because we have two portions we're going to try to recapture. If you want to read the New Testament and the prophets portion, they're in the description link below. And also, if you want to check out where we read our Torah portions, you can jump over to torahportions.ffoz.org, and this is where we kind of get our reading list. It's just a great way to kind of get on the same page with other people on a weekly basis, reading the same scriptures. So we will start with Terumah, which is Exodus 25:1 through 27:19, and we're going to go ahead and read through that together. We don't add a lot of commentary to this, so if for those of you who are tuning in to, just hear somebody preach a sermon, this is not that. This is just reading the Word of God out loud, so that's kind of the goal for this. Although, I do like playing these Torah portion, Parsha in 60 seconds, to kind of get a picture in our mind's eye of what we're reading through. So I'm going to play that, and then we're going to read through the scriptures together. So, starting with Terumah. Bless you. Starting with Terumah, with Parsha in 60 seconds, and then we'll get into reading.
Shalom and welcome to Parsha in 60 seconds. Today's portion is from Exodus 25:1 through 27:19. It is called Terumah, which means gift or offering. It was time to build the tabernacle. The Israelites gave God many gifts for this project. The Ark of the Covenant was crafted with acacia wood and overlaid with gold. The tablets were placed inside. 2 cherubim of gold were placed on the Ark's cover, or mercy seat. God promised to speak the commandments to Moses from between the 2 cherubim above the cover of the Ark. A gold table was made with a crown for displaying bread. 1 6-branched and 7-lamped stand of pure gold was crafted. The tabernacle was crafted with 10 stripes of fine twisted linen of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, with a design of cherubim worked into them. 11 cloths of goat's hair made a tent over the tabernacle. Planks, curtains for the Holy of Holies, an altar, and other enclosures were crafted for the tabernacle. God instructed every little detail down to the last thread of everything. And that is Terumah in 60 seconds.
Very interesting. All right. That was Parsha in 60 seconds. You can find those on YouTube. They don't have very many views. Like, I think this one in 7 years has got like 6K views. So definitely interesting. Just to kind of get your head wrapped around that part of the Torah portion. And let's read. So starting in Exodus 25, Sierra's going to kick us off, and we're just going to read through the scriptures together.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering. Of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart, he shall take my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them: gold and silver and brass, and blue and purple and scarlet, and fine linen and goat's hair, and ram skins dyed red, and badger skins, and shittim wood. Oil for the light, spices for anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod, and in the breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them. According to all that I show thee after the pattern of the tabernacle, and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it. And they shall make an ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and a cubit and a half the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold. Within and without shalt thou overlay it. And thou shalt make upon it a crown of gold round about. And thou shalt cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in the 4 corners thereof. And 2 rings shall be in one side of it, and 2 rings in the other side of it. And thou shalt make staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark, that the ark may be borne with them. The staves shall be in the rings of the ark; they shall not be taken from it. And thou shalt put into the ark of the testimony, which I shall give thee. And thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And thou shalt make 2 cherubims of gold. Of beaten work shalt thou make them, in the 2 ends of the mercy seat. And make 1 cherub on the one end, and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall ye make the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof. And the cherubims shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and their faces shall look to one another. Toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubims be. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above upon the ark. And in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee. And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony.
Keep reading.
Of all things which I give thee in commandment unto the children of Israel. Thou shalt also make a table of shittim wood. 2 cubits shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit the breadth thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the height thereof. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, and make thereto a crown of gold round about. And thou shalt make unto it a border of a handbreadth round about. And thou shalt make thee a golden crown to the border thereof round about. And thou shalt make for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings in the 4 corners that are on the 4 feet thereof. Over against the border shall the rings be for places of the staves to bear the table. And thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, that the table may be borne with them. And thou shalt make the dishes thereof, and spoons thereof, and covers thereof, and bowls thereof, to cover withal. Of pure gold shalt thou make them. And thou shalt set upon the table showbread before me alway. And thou shalt make a candlestick of pure gold. Of beaten work shall the candlestick be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knops, his flowers shall be of the same. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side, and 3 branches of the candlestick out on the other. 3 bowls made like unto almonds, with a knop and a flower in one branch, and 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with a knop and a flower. So in the 6 branches that come out of the candlestick. And in the candlestick shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, with their knops and their flowers. And there shall be a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that proceed out of the candlestick. Their knops and their branches shall be of the same. All it shall be 1 beaten work of pure gold. And thou shalt make the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light the lamps thereof, that they may give light over against it. And the tongs thereof, and the snuff dishes thereof, shall be of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it with all these vessels. And look that thou make them after their pattern, which was showed thee in the mount.
Okay. Chapter 26. Moreover, thou shalt make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet, with cherubims of cunning work shalt thou make them. And length of 1 curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the breadth of 1 curtain 4 cubits. And every one of the curtains shall have 1 measure. The 5 curtains shall be coupled together one to another, and the other 5 curtains shall be coupled one to another. And thou shalt make loops of blue upon the edge of the 1 curtain from the selvedge into the coupling. Likewise shalt thou make in the uttermost edge of another curtain in the coupling of the second. 50 loops shalt thou make in 1 curtain, and 50 loops shalt thou make in the edge of the curtain that is in the coupling of the second. and that the loops may take hold one another. And thou shalt make 50 taches of gold, and couple the curtains together with the taches, and it shall be one tabernacle. And thou shalt make curtains of goat hair to be covering upon the tabernacle. 11 curtains shalt thou make. The length of one curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. And the 11 curtains shall be all of one measure. And thou shalt couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves, and shalt double the 6th curtain on the forefront of the tabernacle. And thou shalt make 50 loops on the edge of the one curtain that is outmost to the coupling, and 50 loops in the edge of the curtain with the couplish the second. And thou shalt make 50 taches of brass, and put the taches into the loops, and couple the tents together, that they may be one. And the remnant of the remaineth of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remaineth, shall hang over the backside of the tabernacle, and a cubit on the one side, and a cubit on the other side of that which remaineth in the length of the curtain of the tent. It shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle, on this side and on that side, to cover it. And thou shalt make a covering for the tent of ram's skin, dyed red, and a covering above the badger skin. And thou shalt make boards for the tabernacle of the shittim wood, standing up. 10 cubits shall be in the length of a board, and a cubit and a half shall be the breadth of one board. 2 tenons shall there be in one board, set in order against another. Thus shalt thou make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And thou shalt make the boards of the tabernacle 20 boards on the south side southward. And thou shalt make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle on the north side there shall be 20 boards, and there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward shalt thou make 6 boards, and 2 boards shalt thou make for the corners of the tabernacle in the 2 sides, and they shall be coupled together beneath, and they shall be coupled together above ahead of it unto one ring. Thus shall it be for them both. They shall be for 2 corners. And they shall be 8 boards for their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And thou shalt make bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the side of the tabernacle for the 2 sides westward. And the middle bar in the midst of the boards shall reach from end to end. And thou shalt overlay the boards with gold, and make the rings of gold for places for the bar. And thou shalt overlay the bars with gold. And thou shalt rear up the tabernacle according to the fashion thereof, which was showed thee in the mount. And thou shalt make a vial of blue and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen of cunning works. With cherubim shall it be made. And thou shalt hang it upon 4 pillars of shittim wood, overlaid with gold. Their hooks shall be of gold, upon the 4 sockets of silver. And thou shalt hang up the veil under the teaches. And thou mayest bring in thither within the veil the ark of the testimony. And the veil shall divide unto you between the holy place and the most holy. And thou shalt put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. And thou shalt set the table without the veil, and the candlestick over the tabernacle, under the table on the side of the tabernacle, towards the south. And thou shalt put the table on the north side. And thou shalt make an hanging for the door of the tent of blue and purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen, wrought with needlework. And thou shalt make for the hanging 5 pillars of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and their hooks shall be of gold. And thou shalt cast 5 sockets of brass for them. All right, I believe you're going to chapter 27:19, verse 19.
And thou shalt make an altar of shittim wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be 4 square, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. And thou shalt make the horns of it upon the 4 corners thereof. His horns shall be of the same, and thou shalt overlay it with brass. Thou shalt make his pans to receive his ashes, and his shovels, and his basins, and his flesh hooks, and his fire pans. All the vessels thereof thou shalt make of brass. And thou shalt make for it a grate of network of brass, and upon the net shalt thou make 4 brazen rings in the 4 corners thereof. And thou shalt put it under the compass of the altar beneath, that the net may be even to the midst of the altar. And thou shalt make staves for the altar, staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with brass. And the stave shall be put into the rings, and the stave shall be upon the two sides of the altar to bear it. Hollow with boards shalt thou make it, as it was showed thee in the mount, so shall they make it. And thou shalt make the court of the tabernacle for the south side southward. There shall be hangings for the court of fine twisted linen of 100 cubits long for one side. And the 20 pillars thereof, and their 20 sockets shall be of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And likewise for the north side in length there shall be hangings of 100 cubits long. And his 20 pillars and their 20 sockets of brass, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the breadth of the court on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10 and their sockets 10. And the breadth of the court on the east side eastward shall be 50 cubits. The hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3 and their sockets 3. And on the other side shall be hangings 15 cubits, their pillars 3 and their sockets 3. And for the gate of the court shall be an hanging of 20 cubits of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, wrought with needlework, and their pillars shall be 4 and their sockets 4. And all the pillars round about the court shall be with silver, and their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of brass. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 everywhere, and the height 5 cubits of fine twined linen, and their sockets of brass. All the vessels of the tabernacle, and all the service thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass.
All right, and that is the end of the Torah portion. Thank you guys for listening in to the Torah portion. We're going to end this video here and jump over and finish reading this week's Torah portion that lands on today's date. And you can check that out as soon as that posts. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and have a good Shabbat.